Central, Monday, October 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
Presented to you by our friends at Fireball. Sometimes life can get serious fast and adult responsibilities become overwhelming, but everyone needs an excuse to let loose and have some fun. During those moments of stressful adulting and letting yourself have fun, Fireball Whiskey is there to help you say F it and free your fire. Fireball takes any event to the next level, whether it's a mundane work happy hour, a crazy pregame, or just watching football with some friends. Fireball is all about flipping the script on life and turning everyday events into ones you'll be telling your stories about for years. Fireball's iconic cinnamon flavor tastes fire and goes down easy, making it the ultimate crowd pleaser. That's why it's the number one shot in the U.S. The Fireball 50 milliliter shooters are perfect to ignite a pregame, tailgate, or darty. Plus, no shot glass needed. Just crack it and knock it back. Smitty, didn't you have Fireball this weekend celebrating 4-0 with the Eagles?
Oh, you better believe it.
All right.
Best place to celebrate.
Next time you're deciding between adulting and fun, say F it and free your fire with an ice-cold shot of Fireball. Okay. NFL Week 4.
Well, let's congratulate Rico. Good job. You guys won the wild card. That's amazing. Second place. Yay. The Mets got the wild card, 12.5 games. That's amazing.
It's good to be in the playoffs.
That's amazing.
It's good to be
And
in
it's not over yet.
No, but it's definitely not going to be hard to go through the Padres, Dodgers, and Braves.
Let's see if the chat can
Say
handle. Let's
Dodgers?
see if the chat can handle this firecracker. At 12:10, we'll be joined by Frank for the rest of the show to talk strictly Mets. See if the chat likes that little firecracker.
Let me say something, because this is the last we'll talk. I mean, actually, no. Fuck everyone. We can talk baseball. This is it's big
definitely
stuff.
It's football season, though.
But it's big stuff. You could talk about baseball for 5 minutes. The Frank the Tank performance last night, when I saw him say KFC and Clem are too busy watching Dragons, I laughed out loud.
That was a tough look.
And then all of a sudden you see Clem with the blonde hair wig doing it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen on Twitter, and he deserves it because he's been right. He's been right about the Mets. They were going to lose it.
He puts himself in a position where he can't lose, but yeah.
And Rico, you haven't been like this, but a lot of Mets fans, specifically around the office, have been. When you start rooting for other teams to take care of your dirty laundry and beat the Braves, that's exactly when you lose because you become a coward. And cowards like Meek Phil over there running his Twitter dick all up and down the summer is unacceptable. And the fact that he's not in the office today to show face when the balls are against the wall is blasphemous. Absolutely blasphemous.
That's not true. He's in the office. I think they're recording, I got to believe, right now. He was screaming at the top of his lungs in one of those conference rooms upstairs for a solid 30 minutes.
What about a run? What a run for Phil.
He's definitely in the office.
I was the most out on this guy, and now everyone is out on him, and I'm back in.
I have a question for...
What a run for Phil.
I got a question for you three.
Yeah.
So Frank, obviously, we know, is very extra, right? But last night, I actually agree with him more than KFC. Because KFC is somewhat, for some reason, the Mets, he's the most rational fan. I don't know why for the Mets he is, but for other, he's usually the most outrageous. I think last night deserves to freak the fuck out. I think that you guys had a 10.5 game lead. I know the Braves have played amazing. Like they should, honestly, if they didn't have a horrible start, they'd have like 110 wins.
I agree.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
But I think last night, if I was a Yankee fan, if that happened to us, I would lose my mind. And I think last night was okay to lose their minds.
Absolutely.
No? Yeah, I think.
The Mets fans got a little big for their britches. They were middle of the season talking about the Yankees are going to blow it.
Yeah.
We're going to be the one that win the division.
And I'm coming at
you have all the money. Yankees are the broke franchise.
And I'm coming at the chat boys right now saying, "Oh, Smitty, you wanted the Phillies or you wanted the Marlins to beat the Brewers. You wanted the fucking Cubs to beat the Brewers." Yeah, of course I did, but I wasn't going around mid-season whipping it out, talking shit on the Mets, on the fucking Braves, saying how great my dick was, and when push came to shove, couldn't handle it.
Well, and you also, the Phillies haven't made in a while, so you're like, I'll take anything.
No, I'll take anything, but I'm also not coming at Brew.
That's an amazing tweet.
Listen,
It's an amazing tweet. How is Dragons tonight? You can't watch it. You can't watch it.
You can't watch it. You can't watch it.
You can't watch it.
You have to release that show way later.
Yeah, I know. And listen, that's a good show they do. I know that's a good show.
Exactly.
That's a huge
And they
show.
like doing it. It's
you
fine.
can't do it during the game when you're
setting
losing.
yourself up.
Biggest game of the season.
The biggest game of the season. I know it's content. You got to do it. Do it. But maybe just record it and wait a little bit because
they didn't.
I mean, hey, I think Frank had every right to be mad. You blew a 10.5 game lead, and all I heard, like Big Ev just said, was that the Yankees going to blow it. We've been comfortable. We know we're just chilling.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough.
funny
We
shit,
are in the
man.
playoffs. I'm in a position now where it's just like they already cut our legs out. Like we're on life support. It's hard to get jazzed back up for this when this is exactly what we thought.
No, it's not. Honestly, it's not, though. You're in the playoffs.
Yeah,
You have
yeah, I know.
good
You have a team that's built to win in the playoffs. You have the two.
But the two
the
guys we
best
just
one
relied on laid
starters.
eggs. It is what it is.
But the Braves now, like if think about if the Mets were in the Braves position, you're looking at like, holy shit, we can actually make the World Series. You have to win bullshit. The Cardinals are the Cardinals or Phillies?
Phillies, yeah.
Which is like you take that, and then you have to beat either the Dodgers or the Braves. It's like but now you have the Padres, the Dodgers, and the Braves. And if you play the Dodgers, you only get DeGrom and Scherzer once each.
Right.
You don't get to throw any of them twice. You guys, yeah, you're fucked. But at least you're in it. But you guys ruined it yourselves. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it sucks. It just sucks. It just absolutely fucking sucks.
That was fun.
And you had like morons on SNY at the beginning of the year and like April
Yeah.
saying,
Salicata,
the division's over. It's over.
can't-
What do you think is
never-
going to happen?
Listen, it is the Mets. You can never get ahead of yourselves. I was rational about the team. The one thing I'll say, we'll close it out on this. Having watched them every night like I do, all the stuff we did that you fell in love with, they don't do anymore. When we would, the other team would score, we would immediately score. I would say that was at about an 80% rate. What?
Buttholes.
Yeah, us scoring and getting guys ahead, and then
I
we
have
a
another
shutdown inning.
example.
It is what it is.
I have another example.
Moving guys over, like
The things that they don't do. The trumpets. Where does it go?
it's gone.
Where the
In the bank teller.
The
You
trumpet
guys,
up
I
and down?
heard for a full week how a bank teller came in and shut down the Phillies. Where's this bank teller now? DeGrom,
Right,
Scherzer can't
right.
get done. Put in the
Right.
bank teller.
Right.
The trumpet guy's not coming anymore?
The good news is the Giants are 3-1. I also
Good
Wait,
football team.
Marty, did you see the tweet where someone put the guy playing trumpet and they had him playing taps? Did you see that?
Marty doesn't know what taps is.
I don't know what taps is.
That is
It's like
very
for
funny.
a funeral.
Yeah.
Like
That's what they play in military funerals.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun,
oh, that one.
dun, dun.
Got it.
Yes.
All right.
Really,
So Tom Cruise's first
the Mets for like a few
heard
months
it's
just
really
forgot
good.
they were the Mets.
stacked lineup.
It's
with
like
that guest.
you and Clemmer out there is telling me like, oh, we've been to the World Series. It's like you lost to the Royals, and second of all, like you've always been this franchise that just doesn't get over the hump. You don't get to where you need to be.
But plus, the Mets wrote the book on collapsing. The fact that you guys were just so cocky all summer.
The one that got to it was after it was when the Phillies played the Mets. You know, Smitty was tweeting at KFC, being like, "Oh, like things always work out for the Mets." You're right, Kevin.
Yeah,
that was one big moment where I was like, "Smitty's so right." I was
unscathed.
Literally, are like, "Oh, like it's just gonna work out for us, like it
It's
always
two
does."
games. They're back 2 games, 3 games play.
I don't know whether this is true,
Yeah. Why'd you
Ebel.
go number one?
I heard it's the third largest collapse in division lead history.
It's probably right.
That could be true. Is it also the Mets? Is it 2007? Is that?
Well,
Mets
2007,
have, like,
2007 was
was
big
like-
because it was only like a week left.
It was like 7-17. It was ridiculous.
Like, but the Braves were behind like by 16 games at some point.
Yeah, it's bad.
You
was-
guys-
yeah,
I think
it was like double digits.
It was
in
10 and a
June.
half in June.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Can you guys believe though that DeGrom went to the Braves locker room, started slapping hands with all of them?
Don't fucking do that.
Is that real?
Uh,
Come on, bro.
no, we were Frank. We're like, oh yeah, we're like Frank. We at the stream. We're like Frank. We heard DeGrom just actually bought a condo in Buckhead.
Yeah,
I saw Tommy's tweet. I thought that was okay.
People were like coming out like, "Oh, you got him fired." Tommy's like, "You guys that dumb?"
So sick. All right, NFL. That was actually more entertaining than I thought. All right, NFL.
It's fun.
We'll go kind of right down the list. I had a really good day.
Let's do a not that bads right away because we get to.
Yeah, I actually think it's less.
Or you should talk about the best team in the NFL. The
That is
remaining
pretty
undefeated
dramatic.
squad.
They're not the best.
Yeah, they're on the list. They're on the list. All right. Packers Patriots 27-24 in a surprising overtime game for the Patriots. Nobody really kind of counted them in. It's officially Zappy time, right?
I think so. He looked
It
good.
has to be.
As long as Jones is
What
out.
we've been saying. What?
As long as Jones is out, I 100% agree with Dave. that was pussyfoot offensive
No
play
doubt.
calling
No doubt.
by the Patriots. What do you have to lose? You're not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to be in overtime.
You
Fucking
have
try at least.
Zappy against fucking Rodgers. Throw any do not punt that ball.
You're not supposed to lose.
But not only that, running the ball so predictably on every first down, of course. Run a play action one time. Open them up.
And to I guess a little bit there, devil's advocate, they were running the ball incredibly well, but agree. I mean, I think when they showed those like the punting percentiles, it was like one of the pussiest punts like the history of football.
Was that on the?
It was
45.
It was in overtime on the Packers 45.
That's bad.
I believe it was 4th and 5 or 4th and 6. I mean, they think they punted, they went down and scored regardless. What does it matter whether they score from? They needed 30 yards for field goal or 50.
Also, you could go score.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, and if you pick up that first down, you're like 5 yards from being in field goal range.
Bill
Pretty much
Belichick-
in range. If you
Bill
pick up the first
Belichick,
down, you're in
the
range.
guy who went for it on the Colts' 20-yard line one time to try to win the game instead of tie, played for the tie last night.
well, that touches too kind of on the Ravens. I have a two-part question to that. Is Belichick losing it a little bit? Where it's like
Yes.
I don't want to say losing it, but
A little bit. Look at the roster moves and just signing these Nelson Aguilar to big money. The draft picks have been awful.
draft
Like
picks
he
are
hasn't had it in a
bad,
while.
I haven't had
Skill position drafting has been horrendous.
It's a monarchy there now too. I mean, he's hiring his kids. Are they really the best talent?
yeah, that's
Mac Jones isn't like they're not just good for the rest of their dynasty again.
Oh, yeah,
like
I agree
Mac
with
Jones
that.
is whatever.
He's okay.
He's okay.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not like
you see one of those things. Like I mean, the other guy, similar situation is Popovich kind of.
I was
Like
just
if the
gonna
Spurs
say.
haven't been that good, yeah, like you have we're never gonna. We can't really fire you because you've meant so much to this organization. But it's one of those like, hey, we really got to work this out. You got to go.
Popovich.
You know, like it puts us in a better spot. He's not what he was 5 years ago.
Popovich came out last week and straight up said, if I was going to Vegas, I would not bet on the Spurs to win the
Yeah, he did.
championship.
Amazing.
Like
You know-
only Popovich can get away with
You
that.
can't I wrote a blog about that. I was like, you just can't say that no matter what. It's like you're of young kids, like at least have some hope
Yeah.
for them.
Maybe that is putting a fire in their ass. Pop knows.
Oh, he was so not kidding. He's like, just don't bet on us. Just like, but that's what. So I was talking about this last night. Actually, do you think that is why a lot of NFL teams are going younger, like the McVays and the fucking like all these young and what's his name, the Packers, like
LaFleur.
like that are just younger guys that are more with it, more with honestly the same age as the fucking guys. Like, I don't know. Does anyone of these young guys like still just respect Bill Belichick? Like, do they want to take his shit?
I think they respect him. I think the one thought I've had more and more is as the drafting's been bad with the skill positions and the way the game has changed. I think you wonder a guy like Bill Belichick, where obviously he's been in football. He was defensive coordinator for the Giants, won Super Bowls in the 80s, like 90. He's been on a long time, won a ton of games, obviously all the Super Bowls. But does it get to a point where it hasn't maybe like it's starting to just like ever so slightly pass him by?
Yeah.
Is the game evolving to a point where he's not quite adapting to what the game is now? Where you look at the best teams, it's you have a quarterback that's like a Mahomes and Allen. Listen, they're a dime a dozen. It's not like they're just growing on trees.
Handing them out, yep.
These type of quarterbacks, like they're so not to like totally poo-poo them. And Mac Jones was the 15th pick, was like he's the 4th, 5th quarterback taken. So I think that was a good spot where they took him at. I don't think Mac Jones is bad. I don't know if he's the guy that's going to get you like over the hump. I think he's a guy that you need a great team around him to win. I don't think he's a guy like one of those big time guys where you're going to win because of him. Not, I don't say in spite of him, but you just need like a phenomenal roster around him to win. And if you don't have that, you're not going to win.
And then the second part of my question was: is it one of the most dangerous things you can do as a coach to play not to lose? So that segues into the Ravens as well.
Yeah.
Ravens kind of like it looks like Belichick did that in overtime. Like I'm just playing.
Well,
not
but
to lose.
no, totally different.
The Ravens
scenario
went
with
for it
Ravens.
though and just didn't get it.
Yeah, but
They did play to win.
Okay, they played to win, yes, but so is kicking the field goal. Like I don't understand. It's a tie ball game. If you're playing,
I hear you.
It's
It's a little different.
If that's the tie, the
Ravens
game,
did blow. My point was it blew a 17-point lead.
Yeah,
Like,
but-
I guess it's and it's the second time they did it this year. So it's like keeping the foot on the gas. I get what you're saying. I get it.
that play call completely befuddled me because I think Harbaugh is smarter than that. Even if the on the clipboard statistically it's the right move, which I don't see how it is. It's 4th and 3, 4th and 4, not 4th and inches. Like you're tying the ball game, or you're going ahead with a few minutes left. You're not.
There was a lot of time left.
There was a lot of time
left. It was like
left,
4 or
but
5 minutes, I believe. Like at least 4.
I just didn't understand it.
So I get what you mean. That you should always take the lead. I
Yeah.
think you always should. But I think that they're just like they know the Bills are gonna they're gonna get a field goal no matter what. Let's try and put them away with a touchdown. I think he was trying to win there instead of leaving up to.
Which
a
also I
coin toss.
understand. I get it. The Bills came back with however so
And could have
answer
scored a
points,
touchdown.
They could have scored touchdowns if
Yeah.
they wanted to. Yeah.
but they held him in check for most of the game.
But I also know if he scores that touchdown, are we having a conversation like way to put him away there because the Bills could have just.
But that's what I want to. I want to
know.
give Harbaugh a pass because watching him over the years. He's always been the guy that's like, Lamar, you want to go for it? Like, let's go for it. He's always been that guy. He believed in his guy. He stuck with his guns. It didn't work out. You saw they went down and they literally were trying not to score at the end so they could just kick a field goal and win the game and make sure Lamar didn't get the ball back.
I
like Harbaugh. I think that was playing to win. It's easy to say that it was 4th and 3. I get it, but I think when Josh Allen's on the other side, you have the mindset, hey, they're probably going to go score at least a field goal easily. I want to say there was 4.5 minutes left in the game. I think it was the right move. It just didn't work out.
Just 2 big blown leads. Evo, do you have that tweet or go ahead?
Well, I was going to say, like, that's probably the correct play. It's like you're from the 3-yard line. The worst case scenario is you throw a pick in the end zone. You lose 17 yards, which sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, because when you're like the opponent's inside their own 5, like the defense has a massive advantage in terms of
I forgot he
expected points.
intercepted it.
Yeah, that was big.
That was like
But
the
it's
worst case scenario. I think it's still a good decision.
Now it's 2 times, and I forget the exact wording of the tweet, but there's been only 2 other teams in the history of the NFL to blow this many 17-point leads. It's only been 4 games.
That's crazy.
Like, so, if you think he played to win, but I do think there is a point, like no lead is safe in the NFL. So just put the gas on. You don't want to get reckless and, like, throw the ball 700 times when you're up 17, but like you do need to keep scoring and put.
No, I think my point is that
Dolphins.
I guess I think my point is that if they kick that field goal, I think they lose the game regardless.
That's fine.
That's why I respect the decision and Harbaugh's past of being like the go for it guy, which I appreciate.
Do you guys? So the first 2 weeks, we're all sitting here being like, "There's no one close to the Bills." The Bills have shown a little bit now that they are humans, and that I don't think they're far and away the best team. I
think they're beatable.
I think they're
They
definitely
already are,
beatable.
yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
people are figuring them out. I mean, like Josh Allen is their running back too. They don't have a running back. They don't have a running game. They start off slow. The Ravens should have put them away way earlier in that game. They took like you said, took the foot off the pedal. They should have won.
There you go. Only 2 teams in NFL history: the 03 Lions, 20 Chargers have more blown leads of 17+ points in a season than the 22 Ravens.
3
Yeah.
Falcons.
What did I say?
You said Lions.
Oh, 03 Falcons.
I just think it's
It's been
more
4
wide
games,
open.
though. You already got 2 of them. It's crazy. Now
I
the
think there's
odds
just
of
a
that-
lot of teams I can't figure out. The Ravens, I can't figure out if they're like elite or not. I don't know if tonight we'll see 2 teams that I'm not sure about either. Like I think the Packers still are, but that showed me a lot yesterday too. I think they just played down to their competition.
To your point, you could probably say the Bills are the best team in the NFL, and we'll tease it now. But I have a question. I also think you don't really know who the worst team in the NFL is.
No.
I do.
We'll get back.
I do.
Well, okay,
I have a
that's
couple
fine.
in mind.
Okay, that's fine. We'll get
I
back to
know
that. But
the
there's a lot of fight there as well. Seattle 48, Lions 45.
Not that bad.
Yeah, definitely. I put this in
It was
my.
not that bad bowl.
It was.
Lions are getting to the point where people are just too excited about them. They are lower than.
I put this in my overreactions video. The Lions are must-see TV, and shame on the NFL for not putting the Lions in primetime.
Just take the over every game.
It's been going over by like 3 touchdowns. Ebo said.
That should be the ball.
But the Lions are blowing leads, coming back. The Eagles are 4-0. The Lions gave them a war early. I'm just saying.
Kind of.
Well, they came back from
Yeah,
down.
they
Fair enough.
came back.
In terms of must-see TV, the Lions are there every week.
I'm going to tell you something right now. The Lions are bad.
They're not that bad.
They are bad.
What are you talking
Okay.
They're not that
But
bad.
from an entertainment, here you go.
They
Lions
are
are
bad.
I don't think they're a bottom 5 team in the league.
No, not even close.
Not even close. You guys are crazy.
They might be close, but not. I'm
They are
saying not
definitely
bottom.
in the top 5 of bottom teams.
That's not what I'm talking about. in terms of watchability.
Their defense is horrible.
In terms of
Their
a
offense is
a red zone award right now, the Lions probably have the red
You're
zone.
right. I agree with you. But
Super entity.
they are. Let's do the top. Let's please God do the bottom 5 teams right now.
So the worst team in the NFL. All right, if you want to segue, we'll do it that way.
Let's do.
All right, so
Texans.
the contenders.
Texans are
Okay,
the
but
worst.
the Texans have been in every game with fight. Take the records out of it. That's the point of this.
If we're going bottom 5, Texans are one of
I
them.
think Texans are definitely one. They're
You would name 5 teams worse than the Texans?
No, I'm not naming 5 worst, but I don't know if the Texans are the worst.
No, but
who
let's
would
name
you
In the
yours
bottom
were.
5 for sure.
Let's name the bottom 5 right now.
No doubt in the bottom 5.
I think the Bears are in the bottom 5.
For sure.
I think the Commanders are in the bottom 5. They
Command-
stink.
I actually, I'm
stink.
probably putting the Commanders as the worst team in the NFL. Right?
I mean, they've been getting just like their shit kicked.
Texans are worse.
Besides week 1.
Seattle, I probably still put in there.
I don't know,
I don't think
How
so.
do you have the
I don't
Seattle?
think so. Geno Smith is Geno Smith is playing.
It's a winner.
You can't have the Seahawks better than the Lions. I mean, lower than the Lions. You can't.
Yeah, I want to put the fucking Jets in there. I don't care what they're fighting.
honestly the Saints.
They're fighting their
No,
way. out of it.
I would
Saints stink.
Saints, and I would put the Steelers over the Jets right now.
Yeah. So
Steelers.
all right.
The
So
Steelers
so
The
can't
Steelers are
so
bad.
it would be Texans, Steelers,
I think Commanders still. I think
Commanders would probably be gold, silver, bronze. How you want to decide that?
But the
Honestly-
Lions are the next 2.
But the Lions beat the Commanders. So to your point of Seattle,
The Commanders are lower. Like they're like the Lions are higher, but the top 5, the Lions.
I would just go 3.
I don't think so.
3 worst. Who?
Texans. I'm not sure about if I'm putting the Commanders definitely there yet. They're
worst.
bad. They're
I'm
bad,
saying
but
I'll say the Texans, Steelers,
I want to put the Broncos so bad, but
Texans, Steelers. I'd say either the Commanders, Saints. Also, even though they beat the Chiefs, the Colts suck.
we're missing one.
Colts suck.
Carolina Panthers.
Panthers are bad too. Panthers
but
are
I
bad
don't think you
as
can
well.
put them.
The one thing that's sneaky about the Panthers is their
defense is
isn't
good.
awful, but their offense is horrendous.
Oh, their defense has been playing well.
It's not bad. No, I agree. But I still think they're like a bottom 5-ish team.
They're
I think
also
it's-
worse
I think
than
it's the
Atlanta.
Commanders. or the
they're
Texans.
one game out of the first place.
Well, yeah,
They're
everything
1-3.
One game out.
Yeah.
I think it's
They
the
beat the
Commanders.
Saints, who also I think are in that bottom tier as well.
Commanders.
There's a lot of bad teams.
There is, but there's not a lot of great.
Like yesterday,
No, not a lot of great teams.
Not a lot of great
I think
teams.
this is the one of the least amount of years for parity in the NFL.
Yeah, like yesterday had amazing games, but also awful games. Like the Chiefs, Bucks. I think the Bucks are just.
I said it.
See,
Look at the Bucks schedule. The Bucks were in a tough spot, and Stephen Che was wrong about everything in the NFL. Is like, oh no, I really like the schedule. I'm like, dude, you're in a tough spot, and I think it only gets harder. Read off the rest of their schedule. I think they got through the thick of it.
No, it's very hard.
It's hard, right? It's not easy.
I'm still not ready to just throw the towel in on the Bucks though.
No,
I mean, you can't count Brady in, but like he's getting older. All right, here, Falcons.
Giselle
But I don't even know.
missed another game.
But he wasn't even the problem though.
All right, it changed.
When you just fumble the kickoff and spot the Chiefs 7,
they got
that's
through
brutal.
they got through the toughest part.
But the Bucks.
Falcons at Steelers at Panthers, Ravens, Rams, Seahawks, bye at Browns, Saints,
I'm seeing quite a bit of wins in there.
at 49ers, Bengals, at Cardinals who are getting better, Panthers, Falcons. I mean, their division blows.
They're going to win 10,
Like,
11.
you've got to
games at
sweep that
least.
division, yeah.
They win at least 10, 11 games.
Let me tell you,
at
the
least.
Chiefs last night was like back to like, holy shit, they can do whatever the fuck they want on offense.
Yeah.
That touchdown that they scored of the play where Mahomes was looking around and they just snapped it to the random fucking guy was just cool. Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't care what you have to say. He is the best quarterback in the NFL, period.
Disagree?
No, I think it's him and Allen are like 1A, 1B.
I think Mahomes right this second is number one. Take away his Super Bowl.
I'm just
You
saying
take
it's,
away the
it's
Super
easy
Bowl.
to
you
go
can take-
week to week.
No,
Then you go last week they literally lost to the loss of the Colts.
I still just think that he.
I think him and Allen. No, I'm not saying he's like not the best. I'm just saying him and Josh Allen are like the two in no order. They're the two best, no question.
One game for your life, though. Who are you taking? I probably still take Mahomes. And I love
It's
Josh.
fair. I don't like blame anybody for saying that.
I
Yeah,
think
also-
Mahomes can do that wacky shit that you've seen.
Allen can too, and Allen can do different
Yeah.
things. Like
You're right.
He can run better. Like there's things he can do that.
Mahomes though, like he does run well.
No, I'm not.
Like,
But me saying he runs, I'm not saying. I'm saying running for like yardage.
I just think that you
think
also
Allen's
got to
better.
take in what he's done in the playoffs too. Like, but regardless, we're just arguing the two.
It's apples.
Oh, it's
I'm
fine.
saying they're the two best. I'm not saying.
Let's just set up a 4-year, 5-year run now of Chiefs Bills in the playoffs.
I wish they were in different conferences.
It's
So
gonna
they
be
could
like
play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like fucking the LeBron and Steph.
I agree. Yeah, just let them run it out. Quickly through the rest. So the London game. This has kind of been a year of redemption, right? So Sanchez gets kind of redemption on that butt punt, kind of takes away from the butt fumble.
Also, listen, when
Ran out of the end
He's
zone.
not that bad of a.
Garoppolo runs out of the end zone for who did that?
He's not bad.
Orlovsky.
He gets redemption, and now does Cody Parkey get the double doink? I know it's in the playoffs.
No, from 60.
I'm just having a little fun with it. It's a double doink.
You can't doink him from 60.
All right, it seems like it's
That was a boot.
Same story going. So the Vikings winning that one with the Saints without a lot of guys. I'm really selling that Viking stock. I know they're 3-1.
They ain't that good.
Yeah.
They're
That's
okay.
That's house money. I'll play with that, and we'll see where they
I think
go.
they're a middle of the road team.
Yeah.
I think that's
So
where they're at.
Latavius Murray might just not be picked up by a football team and then score like 10 touchdowns.
Bro, I
Saw
saw him
every
running,
time
I'm
they
like,
put him in, I was like, why is Mark Ingram ever in this game?
I was like, why is Latavius Murray was like, what is going on here? Like he was the best running back I seen
he looked
yesterday.
great.
Like
He looked fucking great. He really did.
let's go over our team.
I got that next.
Then his team.
G-Men win 20-12. They might have the best thunder and lightning attack of rushers in the NFL.
We also might not
Daniel
have a quarterback
Jones.
anymore.
Daniel Jones didn't rush for 2 yards. For 2 touchdowns.
X-rays are good.
Sprinted.
X-rays are good, but why are you putting him out there in a wildcat formation as like a decoy?
I agree with that. I was very confused.
Wild.
I was like, we could have just have like somebody else sit,
Yeah.
like be in that spot.
100%.
That had a lot of high school vibes.
Play with 10 out
Got
there.
our quarterback out there
That's the
just
case.
limping around on his ankle. I'm like, what do we do?
Just like knowing he's not going to get the ball. Like
If I was a DB, I'd just like jack him up off the line.
do we not have like because they were even talking about this?
You
week,
usually
do we
only-
not, no. I know we only have 2 for that game, but do we not even have one?
No, we got a practice squad guy.
Yeah,
I think Davis Webb, I believe. I thought.
Yeah, still.
it's not Cooper.
Colt
Cooper
McCoy
Rush.
coming back.
No, he left. He actually, when we drafted him, he left and then came back.
But they were still talking about like Saquon's still like, oh man, I might have to be the quarterback again. Like, hey,
Well, Tyrod got a concussion, so he might be out next week for sure.
He's definitely out with what went on with Tua.
yeah, Saquon honestly is the reason why we're winning, and our defense is insane. But our Saquon being rushing for 140 yards, like is he the leading rusher right now?
He was second last week, but he's up
I think
there.
he's close.
He's up there.
He's been-
There were some big rushing games this week. Like Penny had like almost 200 yards.
He's
but-
been incredible. The
Saquon's
Giants,
been incredible.
listen, they're beating teams that they have to beat, and they're doing what you can't. I don't care. They're just
Listen, they
winning.
at least got us into October. So
Listen, I'll say this to some fans out there may say it's fool's gold. I won't say that, but I'll say I'm enjoying the ride.
well,
That's all I'm going to say right now.
I said it too. The
The team is playing hard. I think this is what it is too. Dable is winning. Dable is coaching us to games where last year they were losses and this year they're wins. I think that he's making
100%.
he's made like just good sound decisions. Just the culture I think is different. And are we going to win the Super Bowl this year? No, of course not. I'll take the hat off for a second. I'll be rational. We're not a Super Bowl team, but who knows? In a couple years, maybe we could be if we keep building,
But
keep getting better.
He and this team believes now. They were 3-1.
no doubt, 100%.
They believe, and this division,
100%.
like the Eagles, are obviously the best of the division. We're the second best, I think for sure. I think the Cowboys.
I think the Cowboys
They just
defense
beat- they
is.
just
I know.
beat us.
Cowboys
I know
look-
they
I think the Cowboys
I think they're
might be a better team overall with Cooper Rush managing it.
Cowboys are 100% in the playoff race. Third
3-1.
in yards on defense.
No, 100%.
Our defense is great. It
Third,
really is.
third in points, 7th in yards, 3rd in sacks. They're legit. If Cooper Rush can just maintain this, you don't
But
know,
Dak's going to be back, I think, in like a couple
of weeks. Exactly. So their schedule gets tougher.
I want to say though, the Giants though, they're not playing in Lambeau next week. It's just a little.
It's in London.
London's crazy shit happens.
I'm scared.
Oh, I'm terrified.
all right, so the
8-point dogs.
Yeah, it's a
Eagles
lot.
erase a 14-point deficit fairly quickly. Dominate the Jaguars the rest of the way. Smitty are the only undefeated team in the NFL.
Oh.
Take your throne.
It feels pretty good. 4-0. faced adversity yesterday, down 14-0, bad weather, and the fact that they not only came back to lead, but lead by a touchdown in the first half after being down 14-0 says everything you need to see about this team. This team has heart. This team has moxie. This team has gusto. They're playing together as one. They're blasting dreams and nightmares in the locker room like it's fucking 2017 again. This Philadelphia Eagles team will be favored in every single game they play from here on out, and they are a fucking threat, and you better believe it. You better believe it. Now, there's a couple injuries. That's an issue. Darius Slay didn't play for most of the game. Jordan Mailata is out, which is huge. We'll see how long. I think he gets an MRI today. And their kicker's banged up. So health is going to be the big part. I would love for this Eagles team to face a premier team like a Bills or a Ravens or a Chiefs to see how they really, really, really stack up and to see if they can sack up. But you play the schedule that you're dealt. They played 3 obviously inferior teams and the Jaguars, who are improved, and they've handled all of them pretty easily.
Yeah, no, you're definitely doing what you're doing. The question I have is, where do you truthfully rank?
Jeez, that's an easy schedule. Holy shit.
That's crazy. But
I told you, 10-4.
The Packers are
at 14 games will be the worst case scenario.
where do you power rank the Eagles in the NFC? Behind the Packers and Rams? Ahead of the Rams? We're going to find out tonight. It's an interesting time to ask the question.
The Packers,
but I think you could put the Eagles safely ahead of the Bucks, the way the Bucks are playing. Like take the records out of it. All the key powers coming in. The Bucks have kind of faded. The Vikings are 3-1. Obviously, not putting them ahead of the Eagles. The Eagles smashed them.
I think it's just the Packers.
And they play the Packers at home. That's going to be a big test.
Yeah,
biggest test on the schedule.
I think I still think
you wouldn't
the Packers,
put the Rams ahead of the Eagles yet.
I think tonight's a big. I think tonight you see.
So
I think the Packers are above them. That's just my personal opinion, but it's still like right there.
I'll be honest with you. They play the Cardinals next week in Arizona. Cardinals are still kind of a desperate team. They might throw the Eagles for a loop, and they have Dallas afterwards, which is always. It's going to be a dogfight, especially with Dallas' defense. Maybe Dallas, heading into the bye week for the Eagles, gives the blueprint on just kind of how to beat them on the defensive side. I don't know.
But you just said it also, too, that they haven't been tested yet.
I mean, 14-0 in the first quarter yesterday.
Yeah, but
it's a coach who knows your team inside and out.
No, that they were testing like a little. I'm saying with like an actual the Jaguars.
I think the Jaguars are decent.
No.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers will be a test.
Yeah,
because Jalen Hurts came down to earth yesterday. He was a little human, especially in the first half. I mean, throwing 20 yards down the field into double coverage when it's wet doesn't always end up okay. Defense, man. You put out stats about the Cowboys defense. This defense caused Lawrence to turn over 5 times yesterday. They are fucking swarming. They are all over the place.
The Eagles are definitely selling me. And obviously, it's either they're 4-0, but I think just even eye test, they're selling me. Because that's what I was just going to say. The defense has looked unreal.
I mean, the defense is what's putting them from like a playoff team to like a contender.
I mean, obviously, listen, Kirk Cousins has been great in primetime. We all know that. But, I mean, they put that team in absolute blender.
Yes.
I mean,
Justin Jefferson, all you were worried about, Justin Jefferson, he couldn't do anything.
I mean, he was out there playing DB more than he was
exactly.
receiver.
Yeah.
Making sure Slay didn't pick off every ball that Kirk threw.
Yeah.
Prayers to Brandon and his family. He's got to take care of some personal things. He also was taking a victory lap on Trevor Lawrence. He had 4 fumbles yesterday. 4 fumbles.
I still think he's good. I agree with you.
No, he's good.
It was bad.
He's good, but yesterday you can't fumble the ball 4 times.
It was wet. They were getting a ton of pressure.
4's
on the road. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's
and if you really think about the score, I mean, they scored in a pick 6. Yeah. So you really think the defense really only let up 14 points?
Mm-hmm. We'll get to the rest of the board in the NFL. The Raiders with a massive cover.
They needed it bad.
And sorry, I freaked out. I know the play was probably go for 1. Okay, when they scored to make it 8, and you kick the extra point to get to 9.
It's the clear play.
But I know. But I had just seen them go up 9 and give up that touchdown right away. And there was a ton of time left. I already saw the back door wide open.
Oh, I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
It was wide open.
Yeah, like as a gambler, I was freaking out. I'm like, just go for the 2, try to get to 10. I know it's the wrong play, but I was already freaking out. So the Raiders were the right side, thank God.
I don't care what the line is. I don't care who they're facing. I might bet against the Broncos every single game the rest of the year.
Yeah,
Well, they play Thursday night.
I know. I'm so anti.
Oh, that sucks. Colts after a loss.
Colts Broncos.
Coming against the Broncos. I'm in love with the Colts.
Just keep live betting the under.
Yeah, that too.
Colts are so unentertaining. It's crazy. And I'm sick of the Broncos. I think the Broncos go like back-to-back prime times, if that makes sense.
I think they have 4 primetime games in the first 6 weeks.
Horrible. I'm
Just
so sick of that team. That's why I just was rooting for the Raiders yesterday. Like, just give it to me. I bet them obviously.
That was kind of a must-win obviously the Raiders, but McDaniels.
Yeah.
You're 0-2.
You can't go 0-4.
You're 0-2 in coaching stints, and then start your third one 0-4.
For sure. Smitty, tell us about Skrill, and then we're going to get to the not that bad in the NFL.
I'll tell you something about Skrill. Skrill is the perfect digital wallet for sports bettors. You can create your free account at Skrill.com/Barstool. It's coming to the Barstool Sportsbook. Skrill is a digital wallet perfect for gamblers. Skrill is for money movers and makers, allowing you to instantly deposit and withdraw your money. Sophisticated gamblers like myself, Rico, Big Ev, maybe even Marty, use Skrill to manage their bankroll whenever they're playing games like poker or betting on their favorite sports. I will say that Skrill is great for online poker where it's legal in the United States. It's very easy to use. It's one of the safest and most secure digital wallets, and once it's a part of the Barstool Sportsbook, you'll be able to deposit and withdraw instantly without limits. Skrill also lets you transfer money to another Skrill member and take advantage of some of the best money transfer rates around. Make sure to sign up at Skrill.com/Barstool to create your free account and complete the account verification by clicking follow the game after registering so you can start using their digital wallets today. Highly recommend Skrill. Highly recommend.
All right. I also highly recommend liking and subscribing to the Barstool YouTube and as well as Pick Central. Like and subscribe. Help us
so
out.
much.
It helps us.
Quick like. Just right now, if you're watching, just click like. Just
It helps us a ton, and I think soon we gotta have to give something back to we're gonna give them winners, but I'm saying we gotta do maybe a punishment.
we hit a certain number, maybe.
I think if we hit a certain number, we do something for them.
Yeah.
I think we need to get a little give and take.
Please and thank you. We love you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Engagement-wise, last week was probably our biggest week. So shout out to everybody.
Shout out to all the viewers
real
listening.
fast.
Imagine if we
Thank
didn't
you.
if we didn't have a dead dog loser in the Parlay Plus, how many more likes we would have got.
Also, there's one guy that's been real quiet back there, and I applaud him because I had no idea this was happening. But during the middle of the game last night, they tell me that Arsenal's 7-0-1.
Yes, sir. Best team in the league.
Isn't that-
top of the fucking league?
Guys got
He said that on the commercial. I was like,
top of the league.
that's
Guys got good.
insane.
Who did they beat up? Was it Saturday, Zah?
We beat the Coys.
Oh, Todd.
The
Oh,
Coys.
they beat
The
Tottenham.
Coys. Dave was over there making excuses. I don't know what the fuck
It's
excuses
a shame.
that he
That's a
was
shame
making.
for the
It's a shame.
Hurricane. Can you imagine that stream? Troops.
Yeah,
him,
we
and
were meant
fucking-
to go down there. He's like, no, I don't have any Wi-Fi at my house, so.
Crazy.
But shout out the Gunners.
So like and subscribe. Get us to the top of the charts like the Arsenal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm surprised I got that right. The Arsenal.
The Arsenal.
There you go. Soccer guy. Noted soccer guy. Never lost a soccer pick because I never bet one.
Me and Big Ed have
I
dabbled.
lost a few.
Not that bad for week 4. Let's roll. I think these teams are starting to separate themselves. All right. So Falcons, 15 points. That's not votes. 15 points. The Jets, I agree. I had to put the Jets in my poll as well. Jets 14, Lions 13, Seahawks 10. The Patriots, it's amazing that the Patriots are on this list of all these teams, right? After 4 weeks, and the Patriots are not that bad. But with Bailey Zappi, they're going to be a spread covering machine.
Giants should not be in.
No, who put the All right, I'll tell you right now.
3-1?
That's crazy.
Smitty's a fuckhead. He put the Giants.
I
And
bet Brandon did too. If he did.
Mincy's 0-0 out of office, so he put the Giants.
You play somebody and beat them, and
You haven't played anyone.
played anyone.
the Jaguars. The
Jaguars aren't good.
Cock-fisted the LA Chargers in LA.
Beat the Titans on the road.
We've had better wins than you.
Well, you're not that bad.
No, we're better than not that bad. We're good. That's
ranked-
I'm surprised I put the
You put
Jags
the
fifth.
Steelers as not that bad? Steelers
Steelers
are
are
bad.
awful.
They're awful.
I'd put them not that bad.
We're going to start exposing people for their votes. Steelers is a bad vote.
I put the Jags
I
on
don't
there
think
after
the
the
Steelers
loss.
are that bad of a vote. I think that their defense is a good
Like in the
defense.
AP poll, they
Their defense holds the fucking Jets.
pull that
Zach
back up.
Wilson to
Zach
24.
Wilson
Well,
to a last.
Minka got hurt. I'm just saying that they keep him in games.
All right, so in the AP poll, they do variance. Right now, I have 0 variance. I I have all 5 of those teams in a different order for the 5. Smitty gets -1 because he has the Giants. Ev is a variance of 1 with the Jaguar.
I put the Jags 5th.
All right, so
they're not.
All right, so you have the Jaguars.
I have the pretty much the same order, just a little bit, same top 4, just a different order.
Marty, we're going to take away his AP credentials because he has 3 different ones. He has the Steelers, Texans, and Panthers, all not in the top 5.
What?
Your variance of the top 5, like I'm just doing it off of the 5. Your variance is 3.
How? So tell me how
you only have 2 teams in there correctly.
But we always talk about how like, the
Mincy
Falcons,
has. Hold on.
Listen. I gotta talk about this. The Falcons are almost like they should. They're 2-2. Like they aren't even that. They might be good. And out of that, the Texans have covered a ton.
You just tried to make the argument that the Texans were the worst team in the NFL.
They're bad, but they're not that bad. So we have to get
Just
the
said they were the worst.
Texans should have
You
covered.
can't win
last
both
week.
here.
We got to get the list. What list are we doing here? Because the Falcons are like, I mean, I have the Falcons in there, but
The Texans are bad.
But the Falcons are in that spot where like they're a win or 2 away from being off the list, but right now they're at the top. That's how I see
that
it.
was a good win they just had.
You can't have both. Of them.
Like the Jets winning yesterday put them at the top of the list. The Lions losing knocked them down on the list. Seahawks back up on the list. But Seahawks are in a spot too. They're like a win or 2 away from being off it. Or a loss or 2 away from being like up even further.
Still can't have the Jets there. I can't put it in there.
They're working.
I think I
They're
had them
definitely
3.
in there. They're not right now. They're not that bad.
bad.
I
They're
thought
not
they'd be a
that bad.
dumpster fire. They're not that bad. All right, so
Wilson looked good yesterday too. I thought he looked solid.
let's get to this because this takes a little while. Parlay Plus. Don't be a fucking pussy. I had Hayden Hurst circled. He hit every over in America, and you're like,
He barely did. He barely did.
But he did it the first drive.
No,
he
it was
scored a
2.5 and
touchdown.
like 20. He
Oh,
didn't.
I thought you wanted yards.
No, I
definitely
wanted the
wanted catches.
TD more than anything.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I wanted catch.
That was a sweat, but it would have been a miracle.
Are we going to start with the building block of field goals, or are we leaving that off this week?
I don't know. So I just woke up today. I had a strong feeling on Tyler Higbee. I have a really strong
Higbee's your
feeling
guy
on
today?
I have a strong feeling on Higbee. I could be sold one way or the other. It does seem like everyone's on the Rams. I don't know which. Maybe we get rid of a money line.
The Niners line moved up. Love that.
Yeah.
I don't think we're taking. I think we take. I mean,
It's such a close game. Why suffer ourselves with this?
I don't love. I like the Rams. You guys like the 49ers.
I love the 49ers.
But you love the 49ers. You love the 49ers. Minty loves the 49ers. That's usually a problem.
Oh, what? Does he?
It's not usually a problem.
When we all love the 49ers. Like,
I love the Rams.
I don't love the Rams. I don't even like. I honestly.
But this is to me like this is just the line screams Niners. Like they looked so bad last week. Why are they favorites? I think it's because they're going to win.
I think.
Also, they match. Also,
They play the Rams.
they play the Rams.
well.
Pretty much the only time with these regimes they've lost was last year's NFC Championship game, and that was a Rams with Odell. That was a Rams with Von Miller. That's not this team. The Rams team is still very good, not quite as good as last year. I think it's a big bounce back for the Niners.
No, this-
at home.
You really love the 49ers offense, though.
I think Parlay
Yeah,
Plus.
there's a total of 42.5. I actually even took the under. I'm on the Niners bigger, but I'm also on the under. I just think this is like a punch each other in the mouth, like just smash mouth kind of game.
I think
the Niners come out on top.
I think
got
for the Parlay
feels?
Plus though, I don't think there's a reason to put the game in it. I think we should just all do player props for it.
I agree with that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I'm fine because I like your take. I also like. I don't. The game's gonna be too close. I think to sweat out the money line where we can.
Well, that's also a thing. Do we push the Niners to like +7 or the Rams to plus?
I think we should do the field goals. I think
As a building block, it's a plus sign. I don't hate it.
I don't like the field goals today.
All right.
I'm fine with all player props, to be honest.
The one that I was feeling, I have been 2 for 2 on the player props. I like Debo touchdown. That was the one I was feeling today.
All right.
okay, put that in. I'm okay with that.
All right. So Debo is plus 105 to score a touchdown. Player passing. Stafford's yards is 247. Garoppolo's 223. Player receiving. You can get Higbee's yards, 40.5. Allen Robinson's yards are on there. Cam Akers.
What's
Kittle.
that would have been mine. I think Kittle yards is my pick. I think he has a breakout.
42.5. Okay.
I don't hate it.
Put Kittle in. Right now we're sitting at 2 for plus 325.
How many is the field goals? It's 3.5 or 2?
3.5. You can get either team at 1.5 if you want to pick a team you think is going to struggle in the red zone.
I love this pick. Love it. Aaron Donald over 3.5 tackles.
Do we have that?
Yeah, we do. Hang on. Player
Love
tackles.
that.
What's he averaging?
Wait, no, you can't put him in the.
Can't put that in there?
Can't put that one in there.
Yeah, defense. I don't think defensive players are eligible for the parlay plus.
Okay, I have a decent one, even though I'm riding the 49ers. Stafford, for whatever reason, hasn't been finding the end zone. He finds it twice tonight. Over 1.5 touchdowns.
The weird thing is, if you look at their stats, they only go to Kupp in the red zone. Like he's kind of the only guy with.
Yeah, he's the man.
All right. So if we're on Kittle, can we also be on Higbee's over yards? And now we're on tight ends. That gives us 3 legs at plus 650. We have one more that we really love, or do you guys not want Higbee?
We should just grab our nuts and do first quarter tie plus 400. First quarter tie. Come on.
You know exactly what's going to happen. The
Yeah.
49ers are going to go down. They're going to score. And then the Rams are going to go down, and they'll be 3rd and 1 from the 1 yard line. The quarter will
Gotta
run out.
grab our nuts somewhere here.
We already got a pretty big juicer though, Marty. 650, some good odds.
3 for 650. I kind of like one more though.
We putting Higbee in. I'd be okay with Higbee.
I have
Higbee
I
too.
put Higbee yards. I wanted to put catches. I do feel like a lot of dump downs. Anybody got a strong take on rushing?
Akers is getting the ball more week
Don't you
by
think
week.
Robinson has to have a good game today? I know he's been horrible, and
I think
He had a good game too.
I was gonna say I thought last week or he scored. I think.
All right, so Akers
Time Robinson is
Akers yards or Akers rushing attempts is 12.5.
I just feel like they use Henderson a good amount too.
They do, but they've been trending to Akers
They have for sure. He's getting more and more love each
every
week.
week.
How many? What has the carries been like this season so far? Like the last couple of games. Let me look.
It's been pretty split. It's been more Akers, I think, but it's been split.
Should we take a chat pick?
Yeah, what are they saying?
They hate the Higbee.
They hate the Higbee? Yeah, they hate. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm already betting it. So if you want to take Higbee out, let's take Higbee out.
Akers had 12 carries last week.
He also fumbled.
He had less, or he did not. I don't think he's had 12.5 carries this season yet. Over that.
All right. So if Kittle's going to get the yards, do we also just want to put Kittle's receptions at over 4.5 at plus 120?
I think Kittle has a.
All right.
I might bet Kittle all 3 ways.
All right. So Higbee out, Kittle in, 3 legs plus 500. Give us one more. Who's got one that they really love?
People are saying Garoppolo interception. Oh.
I kind of.
What's Ayuk?
You don't have. Wait, do we have that?
What's Ayuk
What, rushing or receiving?
receiving?
I feel like we're just getting.
Yeah, we're getting very 49ers. Might as well put
52.5.
Niners money line if that's the case.
Then I'm Robinson.
You want to do Robinson receiving yards? Okay, hold on.
It's like
You guys
30
don't want to
Or what
touch
about doing
Cooper
this?
Cup at all?
I was just gonna.
His
mention
lines
that,
are through the roof.
but he like always hits it.
Always.
They throw to him so much.
I don't know.
Not saying under. All right, Robinson is 3.5 catches or 39.5 yards.
I'd rather yards. Looks like he might just hit one big one.
All right, fine. So it is. Oh God, this is a good one. Ready? If they have the same, I have Allen Robinson over 39.5 yards. George Kittle over 4.5 receptions. George Kittle over 42.5 yards. Debo to score a touchdown. 10-1.
Let's do it.
Do it.
In.
In.
Rico, you want to text test me?
Yeah. Send you a screenshot.
Oh boy.
Let's do it, boys. Let's do it.
It's going to come. Honestly, if Debo scores the first touchdown, I'm feeling like great about that. But if it's getting to the fourth quarter,
The tough part is the touchdown. Yeah, and I like Ev's point. Like, you have to put those guys in to score a touchdown because it definitely juices it up. And it's simple. Like, we saw how quick it was with Higgins last week. But that's where it can get dicey.
Crazy. Even Kittle over 4.5 catches is plus 120.
yeah.
Yeah. It also gets frustrating.
It's a big 4 catches for 44 yards night.
Like the Chiefs are spreading the wealth last night, and Juju can't find the end zone. You bet on it. You know, like, that's just how it goes.
Juju killed me yesterday.
All right, we'll kind of round out the board. Let's see. This is the worst team in the NFL. All right, so some games that we didn't kind of touch on in the NFL. Let's see.
Showing fast.
Chargers, Texans. Texans were in that game. That's what I was talking to you about.
Well, they were and they weren't.
The Texans
They were down like
fine.
27-7.
down big, but then fought all the way back. 3-point game. Like,
Yeah.
the Texans will fight. Anybody have a strong take on that? Anybody bet that?
I honestly think if they didn't,
Chargers Texans.
I had the Chargers minus
I
5.
didn't take either side.
Okay.
I think if they didn't have Lovie Smith as their head coach, they'd be 2-2. Seriously.
They probably would have won the Colts game. You're right. Eagles.
0-3-1.
Eagles, Jaguars, we touched on. All right, Jets, Steelers. So Steelers might be one of the worst teams in the NFL. We talked about that.
This game killed me.
Does Kenny jolt them a little bit?
I definitely think he can jolt them.
If you watch the game, which I had on a separate screen, he played actually okay. 2 interceptions weren't his fault. One went right off of Claypool. One was a Hail Mary.
His first interception's his fault. He threw
Yeah, one of them was. One of them was his fault.
He threw that one just in the air.
Oh, the one that went off Freeman's hands?
No, it was the one that he his first pass he aired out.
His first pass, he underthrew it, and they tipped it, and the guy caught it for the Jets.
Claypool still kind of should have had
There was one he underthrew it into double cover.
It's just his fault.
Okay.
A weird.
One was a Hail Mary, not his fault.
doesn't count.
He played better than Trubisky, which sucks because he still kind of lost the game for him.
Right.
But if you think about that, they scored 20 points. He led both touchdown drives.
Yeah.
For both Pickett.
Pull that back up. The weird stat was that Kenny Pickett is yet to throw an incompletion in his NFL career.
Yeah.
13 for 13?
Yeah.
No balls hit the
10 of
ground.
13, three
No balls hit the
INTs. So
2 rushing touchdowns. He had 2 quarterback sneaks for touchdowns.
Yeah,
I feel bad for him because the interceptions don't look good.
No.
Just on the
looks
stat
bad.
sheet.
listen, he looks
In
like a
2
rookie. But I think you have to.
He was hyped the fuck up. You want that out
Who
of
do
the
I want to
quarterback.
watch more? I want to watch Pickett than Trubisky if I'm a Steelers fan. I'm sure Jerry feels the same way. It's just
I
how
think
it
they
goes.
gave Trubisky a fair amount of time.
It wasn't awkward. Did anyone see the clip? They were showing it last night. Trubisky getting dressed, they're asking him questions. They're like, hey, they took any idea who's going to be the starter? He's like, I don't know. He's like, any reason why they pulled you out? He's like, they said they needed a jolt. He's like, oh, okay, that's what coach said. Okay. And in the background of the shot is Pickett getting dressed, listening to this whole thing. And they could be friends. It's just an awkward, that's the business.
Yeah.
But just the actual, I've never seen that before, of the actual visual that they're basically asking Trubisky all these questions like, hey, he took your job. How do you feel? And then the next series of questions is going to be Pickett. You think you could save the franchise? It's how bad you are and how good the next guy is.
I also think Mitch is quite realistic. And
One of the worst.
Yeah, he knows.
The Bears.
He's just getting.
What was that, number 2? They traded up for him or no?
Yep.
Yeah.
Or they
did trade up.
that's
And they passed on insane guys.
They trade up. It was over Watson and Mahomes.
one more
almost
minute.
10th, right?
Falcons 23, Browns 20. Jeff D'Lo just had a torsion fest with this game.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Should have gone. I think they went 3 trips in the red zone, got 3 points.
Very easy.
and anybody who had the over, like myself.
Yeah, Big Cat had it big. It was tough.
First drive, it was over.
Yeah,
Once
it
they got
sucked.
stopped on the.
Well, that's what I mean. That was the most over loss game possible. They moved both teams just fucking moved the ball.
I can be the coach of the Browns. Give the ball to Nick Chubb. Don't.
Yeah, he can run it.
And they don't do that.
Titans 24, Colts 17, an uneventful one.
Titans number 1 overall seed last year.
It's just an it's an uneventful game, and the Colts really aren't anything worth getting excited about. The last one we talked about, the Raiders with a big win. The last one, Arizona 26, Panthers 16. PJ Walker needs to start next week. He can't be anything worse than Baker Mayfield. I know you're going to get on the Baker train.
They've tried him.
Baker Mayfield is the best option on that team.
Yeah, if PJ Walker was the answer, Baker wouldn't be on the team.
They know what they have in PJ
Yeah.
Walker.
Listen, I'm not. I'm taking the
PJ
time
Walker
off.
is so bad. It's the only reason Baker's still starting.
I wouldn't even describe PJ Walker as bad. He can come
he's
in, he
bad.
can kind of
I'm giving myself a 2-week
Say the game.
suspension of Baker Mayfield talk. He when he asks, hey, did you hear the boos? He goes, yeah. What happened after? And they scored a touchdown, but they were losing by 10 still.
Yeah, and they're down,
Down
but they're
26 to 10.
Like,
Like 7 minutes left.
I don't understand. They're 4th in inches. They're down by 10 with 3-4 minutes left. I'm surprised Rule didn't fucking say fuck it and just punt it and cost him his career. They call pass play with Baker. He just throws it right in the D lineman. Like what are we doing?
I will say he's good at one thing: tip balls. Loves tip balls.
Did you see he had 9 or 10, I think it was, passes deflected yesterday.
Impeccable act.
It looks he's the short king that everyone thinks Kyler Murray is.
Yep. All right, round it out quick. I'm on picks. I'm on the D-backs plus 205. I'm on the
Clinch
Nats.
it, baby. Clinch it.
I'm on the Nats plus 260. So the Marlins start early against. No, I'm sorry. Who do the Braves have?
So you're betting against?
No, sorry.
Mets.
Yeah, I am. Because the Braves have the Marlins. I think the Braves get up 4-0. It's a party in Atlanta. 6:40 start. We start at 7:10. They look up and they go, "Oh shit, we're dead." Nats win plus 260. It's an emotional hedge.
Hold on, we gotta watch it. Dave just tweeted about Nate. Just did a video about Rudy and Nate. Look at the tweet of Dave. It's funny. They can look it up. Pics on Twitter.
Higbee.
What's your problem? What's your problem?
This is a great.
And this asshole thinks it's the Super Bowl. You just summed up your entire sorry career here in one sentence. If you had a tenth of the heart of Rutgers, you could have made All-American.
Who is?
You just went from the third team to the prep
Vince
team.
Vaughn.
Yeah, it's Vince
Get outta
Vaughn.
here.
No, it's Vincent Vaughn. It was his first movie career. Higbee over 4.5 receptions.
Jamie O'Hara.
Yep. Higbee over yards. Higbee anytime touchdown. Big on Higbee. And whoever wins the poll, I'll double dip with tonight. Marty, quickly, we're up against it.
Yeah, I got the Rams, I got the under, and I got Judge hit a home run.
The roof's open in Texas. More home runs.
I know, it's hot out there. It's not fucking
They
freezing.
say like they hit half a home run more per game when the roof's open. It's open.
Ev.
Got the ball sack play on the Niners. Love the Niners.
Okay.
49ers Rams under 42.5 and the Fireball effort pick of the day. Free your fire, number one shot in the U.S. Deebo Samuel scored a touchdown today.
Smitty.
Phillies, 49ers, and bet with Smitty over Noah K's. Bryce hit. That's it. Oh, Mariners minus 1.5. Kirby on the ball.
Javonte Williams tore his ACL.
Ooh. All right, that's Pick Central. Yak up next.
Looking for the Broncos.
And Melvin Gordon's.